For some reason, I got cut off. Anyway, I'm looking to run a 2200 watt hour inverter Aerocon, two medium sized refrigerators, a 60-inch TV, and a 50-inch TV, and a Starlink almost simultaneously or at any given time. And if I'm running anything in, in excess of that amount, I'll turn one or the other thing off. Anyway, asking Gemini basically or Chat GDP AI, I was quoted that I would need at least a 4 to 5 uh, kilowatt hour type system. So anyway, I'm going to probably go with a system I found locally that is between 4 and 6 kilowatt hours and panels, and a 6 kilowatt hybrid inverter with a 15 kilowatt hour battery. And I expect to have probably a 5 kilowatt hour total solar array of about 8 to 10 panels. I might be a little bit under that, between four. I think the system I'm looking at is actually 4.88 is what is quoted. It's got 8 solar panels, but they don't. I'm guessing they're like 550 watts each. It's got a one item 6 kilowatt hybrid inverter and a 15 kilowatt hour lithium battery, and it goes for like 355,000 pesos for the system. So that's my plan to run this stuff basically 24/7. Plus, I got a backup gas generator that I'm going to be using to recharge the battery going through the inverter. So I'll have like a dedicated port for the inverter. Let's play this and see what other concerns I might have had at some point. So basically, if I was going to use that gas generator to recharge the system, the recharge speed, because it's roughly drawing 5 kilowatt hours from an 8.5 kilowatt generator through the inverter to pump into the battery, it'll take about 3 hours, is what it says, of running the generator if I ended up draining my battery all the way down throughout the night. But the likelihood of doing that is pretty minimal. I would just run it part of the night. Maybe everything would be off except maybe the aircon, and maybe even the aircon would be off if I wanted to just run fans. So the likelihood of me drawing down the battery throughout the night with a 15 kilowatt hour battery is probably minimal, I'm guessing. So that's my plan. Let's see what else I had listed here as a concern. Had a few things I was thinking of that might be a concern later on. I was thinking about going off grid, and I don't think I'm going to do that now because of regulations and to get reconnected or anything like that. That could happen. Let's see, off grid concerns. So on the off-grid concerns, like I said, you could have reconnection costs if you decide to disconnect entirely. Local power distributors often charge substantial fees to physically drop your service line or remove the meter, and getting reconnected later can involve costly reinspection fees, paperwork, or updated utility code requirements. So if you read what it says in there, it's like I'm basically going to connect to the grid. I'm not going to disconnect entirely, but I'm going to run solar as much as possible to try to prevent excessive costs. So there's definitely like a minimum charge you have to pay each month. So even if you're not running anything off the grid, you're going to have to pay something. So I had AI just kind of estimate whatever the cost was for zero usage, but being grid connected. And so I should be substantially under 1,000 pesos per month, anywhere from 100 to 300 pesos per month. I'm not sure if that's going to be accurate or not. But anyway, let's go back to the beginning on this, and let's take a look at the system again so you guys can look at it and figure out if I'm doing what I need to do, because I'm kind of new to the solar thing, to be perfectly honest. I haven't had anyone come around yet, but I have met with somebody at their office and got a cost breakdown on this type of system. The system I'm looking at, the actual panels will provide me 4.88 in kilowatt hours. I'll have a 6 kilowatt hour or a 6 kilowatt hybrid inverter and a 15 kilowatt battery. So altogether, that's going to cost 355,000 pesos. It should be enough, according to AI anyway, to run a 2200 watt hour inverter Aerocon, two medium sized refrigerators, a 60-inch TV, and a 50-inch TV and a Starlink. And I'm guessing I'll have enough out of this because I'll be between 4 and 5 kilowatt hour solar array and a pretty substantial battery that's going to be connected. Have a dedicated the inverter will have a dedicated input connection for the generator, so I could recharge the battery throughout the night with the generator if I needed to. Like if we have excessive cloudy days, rainy days, or whatever else, I'm not really building up a lot of the energy from my solar, then I could just recharge the battery. It's off the gas generator. So that's my plan. I'm going to still be connected to the grid. I'm going to have off islanding set up for that so that I don't feed back into the grid during a power outage, for safety concerns. But anyway, guys, what do you think of this system? I'm kind of fishing out there to see what if anybody else has a system similar to this and what they think. It's a small house. I don't run a lot of lights. I run some external lights occasionally. And at night, maybe we're only running a TV and the aircon, but our fridges run all the time, so that'll be happening. So pretty much, I just count it as like a 24/7 thing that these things will be running. But in reality, the TVs will be off late at night. All right, guys, take care. Bye.